Coming up on the Wednesday edition of Carolina Week, we'll show you how some students spent their spring break getting dirty down south.
And we all know soda is loaded with sugar, but is it really that bad for you? We have your answer.
In sports, the women's gymnastics team has a star you might not know about. Find out who she is and why she's making Carolina history.
Weathercaster Rob Ellis is here with a look at your 4-day forecast.
All that and more, Carolina Week starts right now.
From the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, this is Carolina Week.
Hello and welcome to the March 22nd edition of Carolina Week. I'm Shelley Basinger.
And I'm Crystal Calloway. Spring break is a time for fun in the sun, right?
Well, not for everyone, Crystal. While many students hit the beach, others went south for service. Reporter Sean Maroney went to the Big Easy and found some students lending a big hand.
Just a typical 3-bedroom bungalow.
Or what's left of it. 6 months ago, Robert Taylor's and his wife's house was under nearly 10 feet of water and about 100 million gallons of crude oil.
This is what everyone will have to be careful of, is the junk on the floor.
This is the first time the Taylors are going through their belongings. This junk is what's left of 20 years of living in their house in St. Bernard's Parish. 20 years of memories
Look at that power.
lost.
I gotta go outside. I gotta get out.
But there is hope in sight. Close to 8,000 students are spending their spring breaks in New Orleans to help clear out these homes.
It's quite a load off of my mind. Now I've been living with this for 6 months.
It takes each group of 10 students about 2 days to gut an entire house, and then it's on to the next one.
And according to the government, there's plenty to go around. Of the 60,000 structures in St. Bernard's Parish alone, only one was not considered a complete loss. Students are volunteering with Campus Crusade for Christ in order to help make a difference.
It's really tough when you're in a house and you're working on like one nail that won't come out of a stud, and you're just pulling and you're pulling and you're pulling, and you look down the street and you see 40 other houses just like that, needing the exact same attention. And
Jeremy's a college freshman in charge of the Light City Camp, a gutted warehouse housing 2,000 students.
living in the warehouse it's a very humbling experience, but it's also just a real grounding experience. Makes you realize kind of what they've been going through and to see things from their perspective.
It might not be the beach, but student volunteers don't seem to mind.
It's not fun, it's not clean, it's gross, but you have a feeling that you did something meaningful for other people.
You see how much more you have than other people, especially in times of need like this. And I mean, it makes you just think of, you know, how much more you got to help out everybody else who's in a lot more need than you are.
And families like the Taylors appreciate it.
One of the most magnanimous things that young people could do is, like I said, to sacrifice time, the free time, which is so precious to them, to do something like this for people they don't even know.
The memories of this spring break will last a lifetime. In New Orleans, I'm Sean Maroney, Carolina Week.
After having their house gutted, the Taylors are now starting to rebuild. If you'd like to lend a hand this summer, visit our website at carolinaweek.org to find out how.
Despite students having a week off for spring break, campus is still buzzing about Mohammed Taheriazar's attack on the Pitt. It's been nearly 3 weeks since Taheriazar plowed a rented Jeep through a lunchtime crowd. He injured 9 people. On Monday, student body president Seth Dearman and university administrators held a vigil in the Pitt. Its purpose? To help students gain closure about the attack.
We're here today to do just that, to move forward. We're here to continue to embrace the compassion and the unified spirit that each of us share as members of the Carolina family. We're here to continue reaching out in order to ensure that we all feel at home in this space, in the pit.
After Dearman's short speech, bluegrass band Run of the Mill soothed the crowd. As for Azar, he remains under a $5.5 million bond at Central Prison. His next court appearance is Friday.
UNC has submitted more modifications of campus construction plans to the Chapel Hill Town Council. The modifications affect 14 future construction projects on campus, including Keenan Stadium, Boshamer Stadium, and Davey Hall. The council will review the proposal here at the Chapel Hill Town Hall next month. Associate Vice Chancellor Bruce Runberg oversees construction on campus and isn't worried that the council will have any objections.
We're very hopeful, optimistic in the sense that these projects are critical to the academic mission of the university or the research mission.
Runberg says the changes will add an extra 1 million square feet in building space at a cost of $600 million.
Spring break is over and seniors are preparing for their final days as undergrads. Wednesday's senior commencement information session gave upcoming graduates the chance to have all of their questions answered. Seniors registered for alumni email accounts and purchased class rings. But the big ticket items? Caps and gowns. Seniors spent about $40 for their blue robes they'll wear in just 8 weeks. They'll finally be able to turn those tassels May 14th.
The first round of registration starts Saturday morning, so pay attention because the curriculum is different now. This change will affect all students currently enrolled because many of the courses and the numbering system are changing. Incoming freshmen will never know the difference. Many other state universities use this numbering system, but many Carolina students fear it will mess up the classes they've already taken. The major change, there will now be approaches and connections rather than traditional perspective requirements.
Many students have grown used to a pedestrian safety program that now carries added significance. After 3 pedestrians were killed in the past few months, the Yield to Heals campaign is getting much more attention. In previous years, the campaign goal was to remind pedestrians how to walk properly across campus roads. This year, the campaign is taking a more proactive role. Volunteers are giving away these glow-in-the-dark slap bracelets and these hazard lights in an effort to keep pedestrians safe at night. The recent pedestrian deaths caused officials to change their approach.
Certainly, the 3 that occurred several months ago obviously upped the awareness and upped the magnitude of it, which is why we decided to focus on the nighttime message today.
The university paid for all the giveaways the volunteers handed out. Actor and comedian Bill Cosby will visit the university this summer. Cosby will entertain at Memorial Hall June 10th to honor his friend, retired journalism professor Chuck Stone. Cosby refused to take any money from the benefit, which will instead go to a university grant in Professor Stone's name. Cosby also visited UNC in 2003 to deliver the commencement address.
The Triangle has seen a 12-cent jump in gas prices in just the past week. The increased prices are blamed partially on higher demand from spring break travelers. We're also facing a reduced supply of gas, with some refineries either shutting down or undergoing maintenance. The gas prices aren't expected to fall anytime soon, and UNC senior Jackson Bellis isn't happy about the higher cost.
They're a little high. I got to pay all this money and bills and where I'm living and tuition, and now I got to pay all this extra money in gas.
As always, one of the best ways for you to save money on gas is to carpool. Water levels in area lakes are up to 91% capacity, but Orange County is still listed as a moderate drought area by the North Carolina Drought Management Council. Conditions have improved since November when county reservoirs were at 56% capacity. And Orange Water and Sewer Authority spokesman Greg Feller says it appears that the water supply will be adequate for the rest of this year. Feller says if you need a reason to conserve water, just do the math.
For many people, it's a little bit of math shows that if you save water, you save dollars. It's always a good idea to conserve, and that's also part of our message to the community.
With continued conservation and some welcome rains, the drought could be over soon, but Owasso knows you can't always predict what nature will do.
Many of us have tracked down relatives using our family tree.
But what about a medical family tree? Tracking down the medical history of your family could help save your life. We'll show you how in 60 seconds.
AIDS has killed more children worldwide than there are in all the grade schools in New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Washington, Atlanta, and Miami combined. The time to do something is now.
Yes, you are. Come here. Let's see how this looks.
Hey, how's my little horse?
She's a lion.
Yes, she is.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. When you adopt a child from foster care, just being there makes all the difference.
Have you ever wondered whether your family's medical history puts you at risk? Well, now there's a way to find out. Reporter Megan Smith joins us live in the studio to tell us how. Megan?
Crystal, a medical family tree can provide you with information you really need to know to protect your health.
The only thing UNC senior Britt Buchanan has to remember his grandfather by is pictures. That's because he died of a heart attack when Buchanan's father was just 11.
My grandfather and my great uncle both died of heart attacks, and my two uncles have both had bypasses.
So Buchanan created what experts like Dr. Jim Evans say can help save your life, a family tree based on your family's medical history.
By finding out the aspects of health in your family tree, in your pedigree, one can begin to gain some significant insight into the types of diseases that you are most susceptible to.
Smoking, making poor food choices, and not exercising are all controllable factors that can lead to diseases like heart disease and diabetes. But what about decisions you can't control?
So really, to assess somebody's risk, it's the whole ball of wax, right? It's looking at environmental risk factors, lifestyle risk factors, and genetics. And then sometimes, if one of those predominates, it will guide one's decisions.
And it's the risk factors that led Buchanan to make the decision to change his habits and lose 30 pounds. But Evans also adds that part of the game is simply chance.
Genetics, there's environment, there's lifestyle, but also chance has something to do with how we're going to live and how long we're going to live.
Take a look at this medical family tree. Things you'll want to include in your tree include breast cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure, and obesity. You want to watch for these and other risk factors that could pose a threat.
I'll definitely try to look up mine. Megan Smith live in the studio. Thanks, Meg.
Faculty and staff at Carborough Elementary have taken it upon themselves to shape up the school system. A core group of 5 women challenged faculty and staff at 15 area schools to lose weight in the Battle of the Bulge. More than 300 people stepped up to the challenge. The winner will be the school team with the highest combined weight loss after 6 weeks. Participants have their own motivations for losing weight, but art teacher Deborah Lederer-Hughes says the competition is ultimately about slimming down together.
If somebody else loses a pound, we feel like we've lost a pound. We get so excited, we root each other on, we make signs for each other to put on the wall.
Several area fitness centers, including Curves in Carborough, have pledged their support as well by giving participants free passes during the entire 6 weeks of the competition. The final weigh-in will be on May 3rd. A national survey reports Americans get more than a fifth of their daily calories from beverages. That's 2 times more liquid calories than health experts recommend. Medical reporter Rachel Burke has more.
It seems as if there's a soda machine around every corner. With just the push of a button, you can get a refreshing drink and more than 200 calories. UNC senior Ashley Brammer drank so much soda her freshman year, she gained 5 pounds.
You know, I would go up to Lenore and get one of those cups and just kind of fill it up after classes and stuff. And I realized I started gaining weight from it, so I cut back.
Now, Brammer opts for water instead of soda and says she can see a difference. Nutritionists say many people don't realize they're gaining weight from what they drink. UNC research assistant Kaya Duffy helped put together guidelines for how many calories you should consume from beverages.
It's all about moderation and balance.
So what should you drink? The Healthy Beverage Guideline separates drinks into levels. It suggests you choose drinks from the lower levels. These include water, unsweetened tea and coffee, and low-fat or skim milk. Scientists say you should try to limit drinks from the higher levels. These include diet drinks, fruit juices, sports drinks, alcohol, and soda. Duke dietitian Franca Alphin advises students on how to keep a healthful diet.
People on one level are not registering that they're consuming a lot of calories because beverages go down so quickly and they're very refreshing.
Brammer says she feels healthier without a soda every day.
I don't think I feel like I really need to have it at all. It's just sort of a treat every now and again.
And that's what researchers recommend. Drink sugary beverages every now and then, not all the time. In Chapel Hill, I'm Rachel Burke, Carolina Week.
A single can of soda has more sugar than a slice of chocolate cake. If you want to see the healthy beverage guidelines, visit our website at carolinaweek.org.
You know, I think I ate a lot of unhealthy foods over spring break, you know, being away from home and everything.
Same here. Weathercaster Rob Ellis is here with us. One thing I really missed about spring break is the warm weather down in the Florida Keys.
Yeah, spring officially began on Monday, but you wouldn't know it from the rainfall that we got this past week. Now, the nasty weather is gone from what we saw the first part of this week, and I'll let you know if man and man's best friend, check out this pup, will be able to enjoy the sunshine through the rest of the weekend. Stay tuned.
Can I ask a few questions about the apartment on Park Street?
What was your name?
My name is Juan Hernandez.
It's been rented.
Hello, my name is Sanjay Kumar. I am calling about the apartment on Park Street.
It just rented.
My name is Tyrone Washington. I'm calling about the apartment for rent on Park Street.
It's not available.
I use a wheelchair. Hello, my name is Graham Wellington. I'm calling about the apartment for rent on Park Street. Is that still available?
Yes, it is. Say that.
It is.
Housing discrimination is illegal. If you think you've been a victim, call us.
You don't have to be a hero to be a hero. When you adopt a child from foster care, just being there makes all the difference.
Well, spring is finally here. Thank you for joining us for Carolina Week Weather. I'm weather forecaster Rob Ellis. Now, we saw a system move through earlier Monday and Tuesday that brought us some rainfall, but the sun has finally returned, and our temperatures, though, are well below where they should be. We do have mild temperatures, and unfortunately, although we enjoy those Carolina blue skies, it is going to be very dry, and that's a concern as we don't want to slip back into a drought, although we are still in a moderate drought situation, but we do desperately need the rainfall, so any more that we can get is going to be great news. Let's start out with the rainfall recap of what we saw earlier this week. So Monday and into Tuesday, here's Raleigh and Chapel Hill. Now on Monday we picked up about a ½ an inch at both locations, but that transferred over into Tuesday. Raleigh got another ½ an inch and only about 1/3 of an inch on Tuesday for Chapel Hill as the moisture seemed to move more southerly through the state. We'll start out with the satellite map to see what's going on over the whole nation. Really, the storm system has exited off that gave us all that rainfall, and it's left us with clear skies over much of the southeast. We'll zoom into the southeast on our southeast satellite to see really no clouds to speak of. As I came into the studio, there wasn't a cloud out there in the sky, and the satellite is showing that. You'll see the same thing on radar, not really a drop of rainfall anywhere throughout this entire area, and the reason I'm showing you that is because although we got that rainfall earlier part of this week, it can dry out very quickly, and for our fire danger and for our drought situation, things can go and change just like that. So that's something that we want to monitor. But as we look at our surface map, you'll see that here's the high pressure system really way up in Canada, and this ridge extends all the way down to the entire east part of the coast, the east part of the United States is really without a cloud in the sky, no rainfall to mention, and it's Carolina blue skies. We're sharing those with the rest of the country. You'll be able to see that in our 4-day forecast. To start out on Friday, we do have a few clouds that are going to be in the area, but our temperatures 53, very cool for where we should be. We should be around 61 to 62. Overnight lows freezing around 32. We'll bump those up a degree as we move into Saturday. Partly cloudy skies, 54 for your high. Overnight low of about about 33. Sunday, this gradual trend of clearing those clouds out. Clear, we're approaching our normal, so 58 for your high, 34 overnight for a low, and by Monday we bring a few clouds back in, but we're approaching normal, so 62 degrees. Now I know spring break is over, but it's no reason that you can't take another trip down to the beach. Let's take a look. Saturday, partly cloudy skies, really cooler than where we should be, and for the mountains, really much cooler than where they should be. Temperatures in the 40s and overnight lows in the 20s, so not a great trip for the mountains, but it is clear, and I do like seeing the clear skies over the area, but unfortunately we desperately needed that rainfall that came through, and it doesn't look like anywhere in our immediate forecast we're going to see that. So.
Well, I'm really glad the skies have cleared up from Monday's weather. That was hard to
It
get
was
back.
very dreary, yeah.
It's hard to come back from spring break with all that rain. Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Rob. And sportscaster Michael Crow joins us now. And Michael, I'm from Virginia, so you know I got a lot of calls from friends from George Mason after that loss.
Yeah, my cousin went to George Mason. I've been rejecting his phone calls all week. I really just don't want to talk to him.
Good job.
Coming up in sports, the men's basketball team might be out of the NCAA tournament, but the women's team is looking sweet. Find out if the Heels have the momentum to move into the Elite Eight when we come back.
Mrs. Abruzzo, I'm Ed McMahon, and we're signing up people for... Yes, I am. Yeah. Miss Murphy, Ed McMahon. We're starting up... No.
Dreams really do come true.
Hombre,
dinero.
No.
Yes,
Ed
con
McMahon,
cameras.
see.
Ed McMahon.
Yes, Ed McMahon. We're having our first
Ed
ever...
McMahon.
Yes. Tuesday night at the high school. We're starting up the neighborhood watch in this area, and here's all the information.
Stevie, get down here, please.
No, it's just
5, 6, 7, 8.
No tango dinero. Neighborhood watch. We're having this neighborhood watch, the first one. Right. I'll come back.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Start a neighborhood watch. It's just one of the many ways you can help make America stronger. To find out how, call or log on for this free guide.
Welcome to Carolina Week Sports. I'm Michael Crow. After a long spring break, it feels strange to wear a suit again, except for the pants, because I'm still in my bathing suit. No, really. The #1 Tar Heels took on Vanderbilt in women's NCAA basketball action on Monday. One word to describe the game: fouls. Ivory Latta had 27 points and went 9 for 9 from the free throw line. Orlando Larkins racked up 3 fouls during the first half alone. Both Latta and the Commodores' Caroline Williams got slapped with technical fouls on this play, but Latta and the Heels kept their cool and finished strong with an 89-70 victory and a trip to the Sweet 16.
We've had teams all year that's tried to slow it down, and I don't think this one's going to be any different. But we just play Carolina basketball where we're pushing the ball up and down the floor. Our pressure defense helps keep that tempo up for us. So we're not going to do anything any different than we've been doing all year.
I got a lot of confidence in our half-court game. We got great post players, and we got great guards to get the post players the ball. So I'm very confident in our half-court game. It improved since last year. So, oh, yeah, I think we can get a job on both ends of the court.
Were you outside Tuesday afternoon? Well, no one should have been because the weather was terrible, but the baseball team didn't mind. The Heels played Towson in the cold rain and spanked them 11-2. Even with the heavy bats and soggy gloves, UNC got the job done. Freshman pitcher Adam Warren led the way in his first career start for the Heels. Carolina scored 10 runs in the first 4 innings and ended the game with 15 hits. The Heels finished the series against Towson Wednesday before traveling to Atlanta to face Georgia Tech. In its first ACC match of the year Tuesday, the 12th-ranked men's tennis team lost a heartbreaker to the Demon Deacons. The doubles team pair of Brian Lucici and Brad Pomeroy played a close and long match against Wake's #1 pairing. Pomeroy played strong at the net with this overhead and then displayed some quick hands with this volley up the middle. Head coach Sam Paul gave them some last-minute advice, but they lost in a tiebreaker 9-8. It was the first time this year that the team lost all 3 doubles matches, leaving fans with little to cheer about. Wake wins 4-3. When students watched Michael Jordan and Mia Hamm play at UNC, they knew they were witnessing history in the making. Now you have the same chance to watch one of the all-time greats. Reporter Lacey Rentel has more.
UNC senior Courtney Bumpers is one of the best gymnasts to ever attend Carolina. Bumpers is to Carolina gymnastics what Michael Jordan was to basketball and Mia Hamm was to soccer. Bumpers displays the same grace, power, and artistry on the gymnastics floor that Jordan did on the basketball court. Last year, Bumpers was the floor exercise champion, and she has made this year's routine even better. Bumper nails this tumbling pass that no other college gymnast even attempts. UNC junior Claire Smith says it's Bumper's leadership that really helps the team.
She definitely leads by example. We all look up to her. She really knows how to perform during competition. She knows how to have fun too. And that's valuable as a leader, just to lead your team in having fun, because that's part of the sport.
Bumpers brings the same outlook to other areas of her life. She maintains a high grade point average as an environmental health science major. Bumper sets a great example for the many young girls who look up to her. Children line up for autographs after the meets and the chance for a picture with the Tar Heel star. Bumper says this experience is what she treasures most.
It's about the fans and the little kids and having them come down and want to get our autographs and knowing that they enjoy the meet and that they would like to be gymnasts one day too. It really means a lot.
Head coach Derek Gavin never stops smiling when Bumpers competes. Like the great Tar Heel legends before her, Bumpers has left a lasting impression on Carolina athletics. In Chapel Hill, I'm Lacey Rentel, Carolina Week.
Bumpers was voted the Gymnast of the Week for the second time this year, and that goes along with some other sports accolades. Roy Williams got Coach of the Year, National Coach of the Year. Tyler Hansbrough got National Freshman of the Year.
Well, I think we always knew that our people were the best and our sports athletes.
Yeah, they certainly showed it all throughout the season.
That's great. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike. All right, Crystal, here's a riddle for you. What's white, sort of cute, and furry all over?
I'm not too sure, but it kind of sounds like Carolina Week anchor Philip Jones.
Well, not quite, but you're close. We'll tell you about Phil's South American cousins after the break.
Art can be many, many, many things. The North Carolina Museum of Art offers one of the premier art collections in the Southeast, and it's yours to discover. There's something for everyone. Works by classic and contemporary artists, a 164-acre museum park, an outdoor concert series, performances, and so much more. Experience all that art can be at the North Carolina Museum of Art.
If you have a story idea, contact Carolina Week at 843-8292. You can also visit us online at carolinaweek.org. If you have questions about this program, write Carolina Week at Campus Box 3365, UNCCH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 27599.
Tina, you fat lard, come get some dinner.
Of course, Tina is the llama from the movie Napoleon Dynamite. Shaheen Sayal says, though we don't have Tina in our area, we do have the next best thing.
The movie Napoleon Dynamite made the llama highly recognizable, especially to high school and college students everywhere. Take a ride to Fuquay-Varina, and you'll meet one animal that's a close kin to the llama, but unique in many ways. It's called an alpaca. Native to South America, these cuddly creatures have soft padded feet and one set of lower teeth which they use to feed on grains and grass. Kathy Knight is one of the owners of the Kipling Pines Alpacas Farm in Fuquay-Varina.
We saw the alpacas on a TV commercial and said, oh, what's that? Visited a farm, just fell in love with them.
Dusty, Barnabas, and Rosie's Mia are just 3 of the 14 alpacas the Knights own. Because each one is so different, Kathy says every day she learns more about their individual character traits.
Everyone has a distinct personality, just like people do.
Like the Knights, one of the main reasons people breed alpacas is for their thick fleece. Once an alpaca is sheared, the raw fleece is collected, washed, and made ready for spinners.
And this fleece will eventually become this.
Raising alpacas and learning about them along the way has brought so much joy to Kathy and her family.
They definitely bring out the gentler side of you because they like to be calm. They're calm themselves.
Calm and curious, but just like their cousins, definitely not camera shy. In Fuquay-Varina, I'm Shaheen Sayal, Carolina Week.
That does it for this edition of Carolina Week.
Great. Have a great night. Yeah, it's going to be great.